Hey everybody, this is John Marucci. We're coming to you live from TAHQUAMENON Falls State Park in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And we're going to talk today about an RPod 101 video of taking your RPod to the sanitation station and dumping your tanks. So this is something that to me is one of the two more stressful things of RV camping, including backing in. So we're going to cover this today and talk about 12 steps to dumping your tanks effectively at the sanitation station at your state park or wherever you're camping. So let's jump into it. The first thing is that really will de-stress your whole process is to pre-stage your gloves, your wipes, your black tank flush hose, and your sewer hose so that they're easy to get to when you get to the dump station. Now this seems pretty simple, but it's really important, especially if you have people behind you. If you've been waiting in line, say it's a busy Sunday afternoon and everyone's leaving at the same time, you've had to wait your turn to get into the dump station, and now you get there and there's people behind you, so you can feel kind of rushed. So it helps a lot if you think about pre-staging these items. Again, those items are your gloves that you're going to use, the wipes, any kind of sanitation wipes, black tank flush hose, and your sewer hose. So that's the first step. Make sure you think about pre-staging your items. Okay, then the second step, once we're at the dump station, first thing is put on your gloves. Now I use the 5mm blue latex gloves, and we just get a box of them from Harbor Freight. They're pretty cheap, and it's the first thing I do. When I get to the dump station, I open up the bed of my truck and I have that stuff right there, and I put the 5mm gloves on. I use the disposable ones. Some of you may want to use permanent gloves, but I just use the disposable ones at the dump station. They work really well. So once you're there, the next thing you're going to do, step number 3, is you're going to get your sewer hose out, and you're going to connect it to your black tank outlet on your RV, and then to the dump station drain, and you're just going to open the valve. So you're going to start draining your black tank right then and let it roll. Okay, so that's the third step. And then the fourth step is, and this is specifically to doing a black tank flush, while that's draining, while the black tank's draining, I then get the hose I use for my black tank flush, I hook it up to the non-potable hose, which is usually colored red, at least at many state parks, and I bring it around, I hook it up at the station, and I take it around, and usually my black tank on the RPod 179 is on the opposite side of where my outlets are, my sewer outlets, and I hook it up there as well. And then I'll come back and I'll turn the water on, so I'll start flushing. So I'm now flushing my black tank while my black tank's draining. And just really quick, as a side point here, I'll let that go longer if there's no one behind me. So I'll take much longer time to let the black tank flush go if I don't have anyone waiting behind me. If I have people waiting, then I'm going to be a little more considerate, not take too terribly long to do the flush. But I'll still try to do the flush while I'm doing this, okay? So that's step number 4. So step number 5 then is, once I'm satisfied that the black tank is fully drained, I'm going to turn the black tank flush water off, so stop flushing the tank, and I'm going to close the black tank drain valve and stop it draining totally. So that's when I'm satisfied that it's good. Okay, then I'm going to, if I have, like on the 179, I have 2 separate outlets. I have a black tank outlet and I have a gray tank outlet, so I actually have to move the hose. Some of you are not going to have dual outlets. You're going to have both the black tank and the gray tank in your model at the same place. So this step is a little bit different for you. But for me, I actually have to move the hose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect the sewer hose from the black tank side, just at the RV side, not at the drain. And I'm going to move it to the gray tank side and connect it, and then open the gray tank valve and start draining the gray tank. So that's what you do. If you have one outlet, you just need to close the black tank, open the gray tank valve, and let it roll from there. Okay, so that's the 6th step. And then the next thing, while the gray tank is draining, you know, I still have, at this point, I still have my black tank flush hose connected, so I'm going to just go disconnect that. So I'm done flushing the black tank side. I'm going to just disconnect the hose from the station side and then from the RV side and put that up and be done with that whole thing. So that's the 7th step. Number 8, so once I'm satisfied the gray tank is now fully drained, I'm going to close the gray tank valve and disconnect the sewer hose just from the RV side again. Leave it connected to the station side and start to rinse it out. And that's the next step. So step number 9, we're going to spray out the sewer hose and get any other matter out of there. And by the way, just as a side point, always do the black tank first, then the gray tank, because you know the gray tank water is actually cleansing the sewer hose out as it goes. We're just doing a final rinse here in step number 9 to spray out the sewer hose and then the connectors and put that away. So just 3 more steps. Step number 10. So once you're done, carefully remove your gloves that you're using and dispose them in the trash, along with any wipe that you used before that you used. And especially, I don't think I covered this, but I always use a wipe when I hook up the black tank flush hose to the non-potable hose at the station, because you think those people, and just like me, have used that to clean out their sewer hose, so I want to clean that a little bit before I plug it in. So I'm going to have a wipe there or two that I've used. So at this point I'm going to throw away my gloves and the wipes very, very carefully, because remember, what you're dealing with here can really make you sick if you're not careful. Just be aware of that. You got to have safety first. And the final 2 steps, once your gloves and wipes are trashed, make sure you sanitize your hands again. I usually have other wet wipes around that I sanitize my hands, and I make sure everything's put away and I leave the dump station. And so I'm done. People behind me are ready to go. They can go. And now I'm away from the dump station. I have one last step, step number 12. I'm going to add a few gallons back into the black tank. Now I usually do this through the toilet. So when I fill the toilet, you can fill a toilet bowl full of water in the R-Pods, and a full bowl, you know, up to the lip, not to the top, but like to the medium lip, there's about half a gallon. So you can measure it out if you want. I try to use 4 to 5 gallons, put it in there, because I want fresh water in there. And when I do that, I also put tank treatment. Now I use the Happy Camper tank treatment. There's other, you know, little packets you can use, etc., that we tried, but I like the Happy Camper powder that we put in. So we do that. We're out of the dump station. We're not backing people up. Just for the travel now, I'm going to have about 4 or 5 gallons in there with treatment that's going to work while I'm traveling and keep the tank in good shape. So those are the 12 steps. Hopefully these have helped. Especially, this is made especially for those of you who are just getting started out, kind of RPod 101 video, what to do when you get to the dump station. Hopefully it's helpful. I find that when I follow the steps, it's a little less stressful. I think it's always just a little stressful when you have people waiting, and you've got to kind of counterbalance that, realizing that you've also waited in line. You need to do what you need to do. So try to take your time, especially when you're dealing with the sewer in any way. Don't do shortcuts, and make sure you sanitize and be safe, okay? So this is John Marucci. You know, thanks for watching this video again. Hopefully this is helpful. If you like the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe. You know, we love making these videos for you. And if you hit the little bell icon, it will email you anytime we put a new video out on YouTube. Again, John Marucci, thanks for watching. Have a great day.